Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. I got another video for you guys, but before we get into that, let's get this YouTube stuff out of the way. If you like the following content, hit that like button and then share it on your social media. When you share it on your social media, follow me on that Orange Man Bad app. The link is in the description. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet already. Click the notification bell for all. If you have any questions or comments, leave them right down below the video and I'll get back to you guys because I always read my comments. Those are all the free and easy things you can do to help support the channel. If you want to help me get out from underneath the thumb of the YouTube overlords, look down in the description and use the Ko-Fi link to do a one-time tip or join as a member on the Ko-Fi. Alright guys, let's get into this. Roll that intro. Hey ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do today is we're going to make a Skyrim bookshelf or a common shelf replacer kind of thing that will have custom textures and everything. Now I have a model here that I built and I scaled it to where it is like the common bookshelf in the game, and I kind of made it all up, and then now I gotta put everything together. You can see that I have 5 pieces here and none of them have material files or UV maps at this time. So first thing we're going to want to do is do some UV maps. So we'll go ahead and select the legs and push our tab button to go into edit mode, and we'll go to UV editing. I'm going to zoom out here, and first we're going to do just a regular unwrap, and it'll do that. So that's not what we want. So we're going to go to Smart UV Project, and we're going to leave the angle limit there, leave it to scaled. And the island margin, I'm going to do 0.3 on this. Like that, and I'm going to push OK. And this looks good so far. There's a little extra space up here, so what we can do is we can take and move these UVs for these here for all of the ends. Just highlight them and then push G, and you can move stuff around like this, and we're just going to put it right here, and then I'm going to highlight these, and then I'm going to use my scale tool, and I'm going to scale them up a little bit, and then I'm going to use G and hold the shift key so that it kind of goes in like that. Now I could take and grab these, put it in here, and I want to kind of zoom in on that because I'm going to want to use the S key to scale that. So I'm thinking like that, then push the G key and then the X key to kind of move it a little bit. And then I'm going to do these ones like that. So we're going to go like that, and then use my S key Now, what I may have to do, because of the way it's scaling, I'll go ahead and like that, and then I'll move that back up there, and then I'm going to take and scale all of these to approximately the same size. They don't have to be real exact, but it helps. And then I can take and place them all in one spot here. Now, if you don't have enough room, you can take and move it over. So this is a good thing. And if that happens and you just you don't want to have to screw with it, just go to select and then linked and then scale it. And then GX to move. Now I can already see that it's probably going to be, there's probably not going to be enough space. So I'm going to take and move this, and once I got it selected, I'm going to hit X, and then I'm going to move it slowly over to this edge, and then everything should line up here. So GX, and I'm going to try to get them in close. That way I'll have enough room. X, and then we'll get over to this, and GX, and we'll take that, GX. Now I should have enough room, GX, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to place these here like this, and then I'm going to take and select all, I'm going to select all of these, like this, and I'm going to take and that. No, that's not going to work. And then I'm just going to use the S key to scale them down a little bit, and then GX to put them all on the texture. So that looks good right there. Right? So that is the pillars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my object data properties, and where this UV map says UV map here, I'm going to change this to legs. This will become important. This will become important later. Now I'm going to do the planks, which is right here, which you can see it doesn't have a UV map. Let me check something here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the texture in right here. This is going to say legs, like that. And then I'm going to go to plank, and I'm going to call this wall planks, just like this. And I'm going to go to my UV maps, hit my tab button, hit my A button, and then I'm going to go to my UV editing, and we're going to go ahead and use the Smart UV project again. It's already set to 0.03, so okay there. So that's good. And now we're going to call this wall planks in the object in the UV maps. So that's good. Now we're going to go to the shelves, and we're going to make a material for this, and we're going to call this shelves, just like that. Go back to the object data properties, push tab, have it all selected. If you don't, push A, and then do a smart UV project on that. That's excellent. And we're going to call this map shelves, like this. Now you can retexture vanilla objects in the same manner, so there's no worries with that. And then the wood wall is what is underneath behind the planks. So we're going to go ahead, and our planks was wall planks, and then the wood wall we'll call wood wall, or wall wood. Yeah, there we go, wall wood, like that. And we're going to go to here, to the UV maps, go to our UV editing, same thing. It's already selected, and do a smart project on that, and it will give you that right there. And so far, we're going to want to change this to wall wood. So we named everything. So that's good so far. Now we're going to apply our materials. Now we're going to start doing our material files. So we're going to start with the legs, and we've got the legs material file highlighted here. We're going to go into our shading tab right here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push my tab button in the render window up here at the top. The way I use it, I use a render window here, I use the nodes, and then I use the UV editor here, and then the image editor here. I don't really have to worry about the image editor at this point. I do want to push A to make sure everything's highlighted in the UV editor. So I'm going to push add in the node editor here, and I'm going to push image texture, and I'm going to open that. I have all my textures all set up in my folder here. Now I have two raw wood textures. I have a 2K and a 4K, and I'm going to use the 2K for the legs here. So that is there, and I'm going to go ahead and plug this color node into the base color in the principal BSDF, and that will be fine. Go back to layout, turn that off, and if you don't have your textures, if it's just looking like this, you just up here in the upper right hand corner where it says shading, there's a drop down menu, you push texture, and that's good. So now we want to go to the plank. Now the planks are going to be the same color, but to solve any dependencies it has with circular dependencies, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this texture, and I'm going to use that 4K raw wood texture that I have. So I'm going to go here, here, and here, and here, and I'm going to choose the 4K raw wood texture on this node here. For the raw wood, I'm going to plug this into the principal BSDF. So that is good. Turn that off. Everything looks good there. Next is the shelves, which includes the top piece right there. I merged all these together, so that is fine. We're going to go ahead and put the texture in it, just like this. And this is going to have a different texture, so we're going to open it and go to my textures folder here, wood, and I'm going to use this dark fine wood like this, and plug the texture into the principal BSDF. So that looks good. And now I just have to do the wood wall. And we're going to do this and add texture, image texture. And we're going to put our image texture on here. Like this. Texture is good. Except I'm going to use raw wood 2K, raw wood dark 2K. And that will be behind the planks, so it has some contrast. You can't really see it. You can see it in the back. You can see it there. So that is good. That is all of our textures. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to have my cursor in the render window here, in the layout window, and I'm going to hold Control. I'm going to push A, and I'm going to select all transform, so that everything is transformed. Good. At this point, I'm going to save my blend file. I have this bookshelf blend. I'm going to save that. And now we'll move into making it all one piece with a texture map that has all the materials baked onto one texture. All right, now we're going to make this all one mesh and have one texture. Now there's a few different ways to do this. I prefer the way I do it. It seems like it's easier. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this common shelf. I'm going to delete hierarchy on that. And then I'm going to make a new collection right here. There's a reason for that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select all of these pieces, and I'm going to go over here to my object tab, and I'm going to you can use Shift D, or you can just duplicate objects. I'm going to duplicate objects, and without moving my mouse, I'm going to right click again so that it duplicates them all. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to move inside collection all the highlighted parts here up in the upper right hand corner. That's all good. And I'm going to close that and turn it off. Now in my layout window, I'm going to go Control J, and it'll look all kind of funky like that. That's okay for right now. What we're going to need to do is we are going to need to go to our object properties, and we have the all four of the UV maps. So I'm going to push the little plus sign, make a new UV map, and I'm going to call this one joined. Just like that. And then I'm going to click the little camera button over here so that it is the active map. Now I'm going to go back to my UV editor, and I'm going to make sure that I have these all here, just like that. I'm going to push U and Smart UV Project and set the island margin to 0.03, and I'm going to push OK. So that's all good. So it kind of looks like it's supposed to, but now we're going to actually do the texture. So what we're going to need to do is go to the shading tab here and open up our material properties. And in the wall wood, the first one, what we're going to do is we want to go ahead and push tab in the render window up here at the top, make sure it's all selected. Now we're going to want to add a new texture, image texture, and you can make this, you can name this whatever you want. I'm going to name this improved let's try to spell it right, shelf. You can name this improved shelf. You can do whatever size you want. 1024 is 1K. I'm going to use 2048 for a 2K texture, which is what Skyrim uses mostly. So that's good. And I'm going to shut this alpha off because I don't need it. So I'm going to push OK there. And I'm going to move that up just a little bit. Now, what I want to do is zoom out here a little bit. And I want to add. And I'm going to go to Input. And I'm going to choose UV map. I'm going to put one here. And I'm going to do another one. Just like this. Now, this first one up here, I want to click here and I'm going to choose the joined. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to plug that into my improved shelf texture here. Now, on the second one, since I'm on the wall wood, I'm going to go ahead and choose wall wood, and then I'm going to plug this in to the raw wood dark 2K. That's good. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to select these two UV maps. I'm going to hold my shift button to select the second one, and then I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to right click, copy, and I'm going to go down to legs. I'm going to right click and paste. The only thing I have to do, this is all joined up already. I got to go to this map here, and instead of raw wood, I'm going to choose legs. So we'll go ahead and plug that into the vector there. You can tell when it's working because it flashes. So we'll go to wall planks and paste. And if it's overlapping something, just hit your G button and you can move all three of them around. Now I'm going to go down to this second UV map and I'm going to choose wall planks and plug that in just like that. And then I'm going to do my shelves. So paste, G to move it a little bit there. And I'm going to change this UV map here to shelves and plug this texture in just like that. And that's okay. Next thing you got to do is just click on your improved shelf here to make it active. Go up to your wall planks. Same thing. Your legs, make sure it's active by clicking on it. And wall wood, click on it. So now that's all good. Over here in my UV editor, I'm going to push A. And then in my image editor, I am going to find my improved shelf texture, which is blank. Now I'm going to go up here to my render properties. And as you can see, I got it set on cycles, supported. Use CPU. I'm going to use the GPU compute because I'm going to make my graphics card do the work. And then I'm going to go to bake. Now in the bake, I want to choose the diffuse because we just need the color. Turn off the direct and indirect. Everything's good, and push bake. And this will take a little bit, so I'll get back to you in just a second as soon as this is done. And it is done. So now I need to save my image. Save as. Now I'm going to save it in my folder here for later. So save. But I'm going to also save it in on my desktop in my working folder that I have here. Proof shelf. Save. Now I'm going to go back to this here, and as you can see, this looks fabulous, right? Right. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export the NIF. I use Nifly to export NIFs. So I'm going to export it, and I'm going to go to my new folder and we're going to call this mesh bookshelf. Just like that. Make sure this is set to Skyrim SE. Everything looks good there, and export it, and it will export successfully. Now we're going to move on to getting this set up to put in game. Okay, real quick here, we're going to do our texture. So I have this PNG file, and you can see that all my textures are placed on it, nice and professional looking. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this in Adobe Photoshop CS6 extended. It's extended. Since I turned off the alpha, I have one good flat texture here. I can go ahead and save this as a DDS file in my new folder, Improve Shelf, and save and let that do its work. And while that's doing its work, should be done. Should be done. Yep. Now we'll go to our new folder, and it did not. There it is. Oh, let's try that again. I think I screwed up. Save as Improved Shelf DDS. Save. And we'll do it again because for whatever reason it wasn't showing up. So that is done. And then I need to do my normal map. So I'm going to click on the normal map filter through NVIDIA Tools. Everything's set to the defaults. So I'm going to do that. And if I put this on here, just like it is, it'll be very shiny. So I don't want that. So I'm going to right click over here and do layer from background. And I'm going to set the opacity to 40% and save as, and then choose the DDS here, and then I'm going to rename this to _N, like that. Save, and save that, and let it do its work, and it'll save. The reason the opacity will work is because it will not make the texture shiny. So that's all done. Let's go ahead and close that and open my new folder. Now I have my shelf here and my normal map for my shelf. Now I need to put this in my textures folder for the mod I'm working on. So that would be clutter, and I believe that's book stand. No, furniture. And you can see I got a bookshelf here, and this has all the different pieces from the original. So I just want just one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drag this over here. Proof shelf, and drop that down. And now we'll go ahead and texture the mesh and get it set up to put in game. Okay, so I have my bookshelf right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this. As you can see, it's all kind of just light and everything. So I'm going to go to my block list. I have just one shape here. I'm going to click on BS Lighting Shader Property, and I'm going to put my glossiness to 100. This is just what I use. The game uses like 80, and you can see where there's some shine there. So specular strength, I'm going to drop the spec strength down to 0.3, just like that. And then I'm going to open this and do the BS texture set, and I'm going to point that at my furniture and at my bookshelf, and I'm going to put improved shelf, and I'm going to put the normal map on And that is pretty good, man. Pretty good. So I'm going to save. And then I'm going to open up my Outfit Studio. And this takes a minute, so I'll be right back with you. Okay, I got my Outfit Studio open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on File. I'm going to click on Import and NIF. And I have all of my Skyrim vanilla assets already busted out of the BSA. So I'm going to go into the meshes, and I'm going to go to Flutter, and I'm going to go Common, and I'm going to find my Common Shelf 01 here. That's great. And then I'm going to import from NIF, desktop, new folder, and I'm going to import my new bookshelf. And as you can see, it all lines up just perfectly. So I'm going to take on my common shelf, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to set reference. And then on my one here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename this. It says wood wall, so I'm going to rename this to bookshelf. Now I could have renamed this in Blender, but I'm going to rename it here. And I'm going to right click again. I'm going to copy bone weights. I'm going to crank this all the way up. And I'm going to push OK. And then in the slider drop down, I'm going to conform selected, just hit even movement. And then I'm going to click on set base shapes. I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to hit reset transform. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can export it from here with export to NIF, or you can go to File, Export, and make sure that you export it to NIF, not NIF with reference. So I'm going to do it this way, and then click on the bookshelf and save and replace. And that's good. That's good right there. So I'm going to open this up, and it has pretty good collision on it from the original common bookshelf, but I kind of want to put my own collision on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the red line here. I'm going to open my block list, and I'm going to remove this branch, and I'm going to save as. Now this one I want to go ahead and push AA, so that is the one without collision, and I'm going to save as. Now I want to open up my Skyrim SSE optimizer right here, and I'm going to click on Legendary Edition, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to point this at this new folder right here, just like that. And I'm gonna, this cleans all the skinning and everything, so I'm gonna optimize it a couple of times, and we're gonna just drop that down. Now it is optimized, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to bring up chunk merge version 0.1.55, etc., etc. So now I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to go to my new folder, and I'm going to load the bookshelf in for this one, and then the collision file will be the bookshelf AA. I'm going to click on name of tri-shape, and then I'm going to go back over here and collision fallback mesh, and I'm going to click that. Click the convert button. That's all done. Now I'm going to reopen this file. Now, right now, this file is a Legendary Edition mesh. We're gonna change it back, but first I want to set the chunk material here. So I'm gonna click on the collision there, and I'm gonna go to PK compressed mesh shape data, and in this window I'm gonna click chunk materials, and I'm gonna open this up, and I'm gonna set this as Sky Have Matte Wood, just like that, and save, just like that. And then I'm going to bring up my Skyrim NIFT optimizer, and I'm going to optimize this back out. And there it is, guys. That is my Skyrim bookshelf replacer, or what I'm using for my mod. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this, and you can see that I have a bookshelf in here. This is 40 kilobytes, so I'm going to paste this in right here, and I'm going to replace it. And this actually made it a little bit bigger because of the custom collision, but that's okay. So that's all there is to that, and everything works. Alright guys, remember, if you guys like the content, to make sure to hit that like button and then share it on your social media. And if you want to go ahead and tip the channel for the work I do, look down in the description. Use the Ko-Fi link to do a one-time tip or to join as a channel member. Alright guys, until next time, keep your sword sharp, don't be a milk drinker, and always watch the skies, traveler.